Hey ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out another Wednesday episode of Your Next Cast. In today's video, I'm going to take you back a month to the beginning of October, where a good friend of mine, Jeff, and I were able to get out on Hunting Run Reservoir and actually do some fishing together. So it's a fairly long or longer video than normal, but I wanted to try to capture all the fun that we had, as well as many of the life lessons that Jeff imparted to me, and that's one of the great things I love about fishing. So I hope you'll sit back, relax, grab some Cheetos, and enjoy the video. We'll at least get the first, I'm a little late on it, but we'll at least get the first fish on the whopper plopper.
Just boat flit him.
There you go.
That's not bad.
It's not a bad fish to start with.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't do a proper intro, but that's Jeff.
Hi.
He's a good friend of mine. I'm out on his boat today at Hunting Run Reservoir. I'm trying to get all the GoPro stuff set up, and he's getting a head start with his whopper plopper.
I figure it's the only way I have a chance. I got to get out there while he's still setting up the gear. Below the gunnel?
That's why you got good. Below the gunnel. That's a quality fish release.
Yes, so I don't get a fish landing.
Let me grab this. There you go. All right, now I'm gonna do a more proper intro. Welcome back to Your Next Cast. I am out on the boat in Hunting Run Reservoir. I'm fishing with my friend Jeff. We've been on the water for probably about 20 minutes or 15-20 minutes or so at this point. Jeff has put one bass in the boat, which you saw him catch on top water. So we're just drifting right now, doing some fishing, catching up. I'm laughing at all of his jokes because he's hilarious. So you're gonna hear some of those on this trip. But anyway, we're just gonna be out here, not sure how long, but we're just gonna have some fun and see if we can put some bass in the boat. So here we go. Well guys, it's almost 8. We've been fishing for about an hour because we started at about 7. I've tried a worm in morning dawn color. It did not work. Threw some chatterbait. It did not work. Threw a Ned rig with a Kitech. It did not work. Jeff caught one on top water, and he's been fishing with a spinnerbait as well and a swim bait, and we haven't put another one in the boat. So now I'm going to good old Elder's Magic. I'm going to try to throw that, and I'm going to tie on a crankbait and see what we can do with that. All right, Titus, you got to put a fish in the boat, and it has to happen right now.
Yeah, I'll never get invited to fish with you again.
I mean, I can't ask for a better setup, Jeff. I don't have to do anything but cast. Like, it's not like I'm trying to.
Can, brother. You know,
it's not like in the John boat where, you know, the wind has a greater impact because it's blowing me all over the place. Thank you. We called it.
There you
go. It's a little guy.
Hey.
But sometimes you got to speak it into existence. It's a baby, but yay!
Smell like fish.
No skunk. We literally just said we have to catch one right now.
Or Jeff will never get invited back.
Here we go, baby guy.
You gotta sit down for 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's not below the gunnel. Fish landing lot violation. Kitech strike first. The gold flash color, thankfully. Hopefully they will get bigger. No, Jeff, this is I want to do this more. This is the literally, this is the perfect setup.
Anytime.
I mean, the camera is perfect. I can sit here. I mean, I'm imagining this is going to look great when I take it home. And
the camera loves you.
Computer. Huh?
The camera loves you. Work for me, Titus. Show me sexy. Cop for me. Come on.
That's funny.
No, I love this boat. I'm having so much fun. And what
I love it, man. I'm like, and the price you pay for it, I'm like, I need one of these. Like, this is exactly what I need.
What I like about it is it's big enough to be able to fish off of comfortably, but it's small enough to drop in the rapid. And there you go. See, now you're just showing off.
It's another baby. It's probably the same guy, his brother.
That's a little bigger.
A little bit bigger. Kitech is producing, thankfully. It's number 2, guys. I think Jeff still got me on total weight, though.
Oh, fat jokes. Really? We're gonna go with fat jokes right off the bat?
No fish vanity violation there, guys. We're below the gunnel. At least I know what a bite feels like now, so I feel better about that.
Yeah, we're in 43 foot of water here.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is deep. Let's get and I usually don't fish that deep. Like, your system is really gonna help because I'm gonna get a better idea of what some of that deeper stuff is.
Yeah.
Normally I don't go past 12, 15 feet. And usually I'm just using my lures to kind of gauge that depth and what depth I'm getting bites in.
You talk about, you know, feeling like a real fisherman. The first time I used a depth finder and, you know, spotted fish down low. Sorry about that.
You're good.
And then was able to target them, get a deep diving crankbait and catch a bass. I just felt like all that in a bag of double stuffed Oreos, right? Here, I have arrived, right? I am now the man.
Double stuff?
Oh yeah, this is the best Oreos.
Oh man, I'm glad we got that on film.
Oh, thanks. But I'll this will fire up and then I'll set it on and you can just look at that all you want.
Okay, cool.
Once it decides to wake up. I didn't bring my frog rod. I'm bringing the big 50 pound. Oh, look at that.
You got one.
Oh,
Let me see that. Lean that over here. Lean that over here. Hey guys, I just want to show you he caught one of the small fish that's busting. Check that out. That's what we're trying to mimic right there.
That takes skill, right?
That takes real skill right there. We'll count that. That's fish number 2.
No, that's...
All right, let's try the magic. We got to catch a fish in the next 5 minutes, Jeff.
All right.
We will catch a fish in 5 minutes.
Okay.
From this point, it
Challenge
will happen.
accepted. And of course, the first thing I do is back. Yep, calm under pressure. That's what I'm known for. Oh my goodness.
Man.
I did that on purpose. I'm letting it.
I know
soak
you're
a little bit.
giving me some time.
Yeah, and I'm just letting.
I'm gonna try to take advantage of it since you're giving me some time.
Yeah. Here's the beauty of editing. If we don't catch a fish, you just delete all that and then say again in the next 5 minutes. And no one's gonna know. I mean, I'd never tell.
Well, I try to show that as well so people know. I try to make it authentic and show, hey, sometimes I say this and it doesn't happen at all. Like, there are times like I make a cast like that one I just did and I think that should be a fish.
I know.
And it just doesn't happen.
It's like you're thinking God should reward a cast that good, right? Like he should look down and say, well done, son.
Yeah.
All right, here's your fish. That was a good looking cast.
It's right where it needs to be.
I know.
I just feel like with the weather, it's like perfect.
I know, right? It's a
like,
Thursday.
It seems like everything is right. Like these are the best conditions you could possibly have.
Right? It's the start of fall. It's like 60 degrees.
And we got a full moon, right? Are we coming up to a full moon or is it a full moon?
Oh, I did want to mention that because I felt bad about it. But yeah, if you look at like the fish calendar thing. Yeah. So I saw this last night and just got more excited.
Right.
So yeah, this is, so they measure it by like how many fish is how well they're biting. Mm-hmm. So this is today. Literally, it doesn't get any better.
Right.
Like it's
right.
it's
the best.
It's across the whole screen. But I thought that would be honored to bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. 'Cause I feel bad.
I'm trying to find an excuse.
Yeah.
What's...
Well, I'm waiting on you, Jeff. It's your turn. I've caught 2, so.
Oh, you know what? That is true.
It's your turn to catch one.
That is true. I'm the one letting the team down. Just like when we played basketball. So you have to use it. Really no difference.
Oh man. So if you guys don't know this, Jeff and, which you probably wouldn't because I haven't said this, Jeff and I actually met. Did we meet over basketball or was it church first? Well, did we meet at church and then play basketball, or did we play basketball first?
I met Timotheus at church.
Yes,
I think I met you playing basketball.
Okay, yeah. So Jeff and I met playing basketball. He loves playing basketball too. And we went to the same church for a while. But he's a better player than he's leading on. He shoots the ball quite a bit, but he has a good percentage.
Yeah, listen to that. Quality save. Yeah, he shoots the ball quite a bit. I'm not saying he ever makes it, but the boy has no problem chucking it.
There's no lack of confidence.
Oh, snap. Yeah, and I wish I could argue.
All right, Jeff, let's keep rolling.
Yes, sir.
We've tried everything we can do here, I
yep.
think. Oh, and we did not get a bite. But you would think right there by that tree laying down that something. Yes, would jump in there.
There you go.
Come on, buddy.
That's what it took.
Buddy.
Jeff, let's go. You want a net?
No, we're good. Okay.
Oh, it's got some size to it.
Yes, finally. So it didn't happen in that 5 minutes that I mentioned. It happened like maybe 15 minutes later.
Editing.
But it's a little
no one had to know that.
It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Than what we've been catching. Here we go.
What you've been catching.
Just as I say, Jeff, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
See, I told you that's how it happens. I'm like, Jeff, let's get out of here, and then boom, fish. Feels like a bite. It is a bite.
Uh-oh.
Little guy.
Yep.
Another little guy, gang. Ooh, calm down, buddy. Ouch. That did not feel good. Can't seem to get out of this nursery. There we go. Another little baby. But I know you guys are probably thinking, hey, you had 2 lures that caught 2 fish. Why would you try something different? And it's because I don't think that's what's gonna really do it today. I think it's gonna be something else. So we gotta find out what that something else is. And that's what me and Jeff are trying to do.
And that's one of the advantages of having 2 people on the boat, right? So you can mix it up, and
definitely.
Once you figure out what works, then. Because I tell you what, if you start catching something on that, you better believe I'm going to find the same thing in my tackle box real quick. And then if you start catching too many, I'm going to start spinning the boat around where you can't make a cast.
Start playing defense?
Yeah. Like on that ultimate match fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Which that is so cool too. I would love to do something like that one day. So while we're still trying to find some fish, I thought I'd take a minute to glean some wisdom from our good friend Jeff. He's been married for what, 30?
Almost 33.
33 years. He's got 2 daughters, and I've known him for well over 10 years. And one of the things that has impressed me about Jeff is not only his sense of humor, which I'm sure you've heard at this point, but he's very balanced. He's demonstrated that he's a great relationship with the Lord. He has a great relationship with his family. So we're just going to get him to answer a couple of questions and give us some wisdom on what he thinks about fatherhood, maybe even some marriage advice if you have some, and just some life advice But he's had a great relationship with 2 daughters. Actually, I remember one time I saw you at Chick-fil-A with one of your daughters, and I think you were doing a daddy-daughter date or something like that.
Yes, I always, when the girls were younger, we would do date nights where they would actually, and sometimes it'd be we'd get dressed up and go out and do stuff. And I just think it's so important for all kids, but especially for little girls. I don't want the first time they hear you're special, you're beautiful, to be some, boy. I want them to know that already. I want my daughters to always know that they're special, they're beautiful, they're valued, and they don't have to get that from somewhere else, right? They know from home that's the way they are. I believe that that confidence, and not an overblown sense like you see in so much of social media today, but they need to understand that they are valued and they are beautiful. And I don't want them to hear it the first time from someone else. So we spend a lot of time together.
Nice. So for a young father like myself raising a daughter, what is, I guess, some key things you think all fathers should be doing or should be thinking about doing?
It's the same old story. There's nothing new here. You balance your life with God, wife, children, and that may sound wrong, asking for children, but you can't be a good parent if you're not a good Christian, if you're not a good husband. But most importantly, it's a matter of parents that say yes all the time are not good parents, because children, as in life, need boundaries. Parents that say no all the time aren't good parents either. There has to be a balance. And that's where my wife and I think we have worked so well together. She's the type that is all about the adventure and the doing stuff, and I'm the type that always looks at what could go wrong. So Casey had an opportunity her freshman year of college to go to Paris for a it was like a week or two study of minor religions. So all Karen pictured was the Louvre and the adventure in Paris, and all I pictured was the movie Taken. So finding that balance, right, and sometimes she wins out and sometimes I win out, and it's important that you have those discussions as husband and wife, but provide a united front to your kids, right? Kids will sniff out any inconsistencies. So I think it's important to be consistent and to parent together with your wife, and let your kids know how much you love them.
Gotcha. Nice. See, that's why we asked him, because he has all of this wisdom. So
read between the lines, right? I'm doing such a horrible job at fishing, right? So it's not that I'm that wise, just in comparison to my fishing ability, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So that's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. So just one other question we have, or I have rather, just what is any general life advice you have? Just what you've learned in the, I know he looks like he might be older, but he's not. He's actually really young, definitely young at heart. But in the time that you've been on this planet, what are some things that you've really learned and maybe even wish you had known when you were 20, 25, or 30?
Yeah, I wish I would have known to buy Microsoft and Apple when I was younger. No, I think right now, there's times when I'm very excited for our future. There's a time where younger people are so much more motivated and involved in social issues than they have been in the past. But there's also a time right now that I'm concerned, because it seems like nobody wants to talk to each other. There's no discussion. We're just, both sides are yelling at each other. And I believe as Christians, Dr. Moore said one time that the gospel should be offensive, because the gospel tells you that you are a sinner saved only by the blood of Jesus Christ. But Christians should never be awful towards each other or to others, right? So I believe we're in this world right now where Christians are too offensive. They're taking sides on political debates, on everything from the party that you're voting for to whether or not you wear a mask. And I believe that right now it's so important to, if you filter out all of the social media and you filter out the 24-hour news and just look at your life, right? I mean, how much is your life truly changed, and how much is being presented as bad stuff? So more than anything, is just, I wish I was better at communicating. I wish I was better at communicating with my wife, with my children, and I wish I was better at communicating with other people in such a way that you're not coming off as judgmental or snotty. You're coming off from a position of love, right? And I think that's what's missing in society right now. But more than anything else, just, it sounds trite, but the better Christian you are, The more you spend time in the Word of God, the better parent you become. It's so funny. I told a preacher one time that after I had this experience out to sea, and it kind of I like the word rededication, but I didn't understand the power of Jesus Christ. Right? It was for me for many years. It was a social. It was a family thing. We went to church, but it never really hit home until this one moment. And it's funny because I told the preacher that after that happened, it's funny how much better his sermons became.
Gotcha.
Right. You know, it's funny how much better you become as a person. So spend time with your family, cherish those moments, and spend time in the Word of God.
Nice. Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Also, Jeff has a YouTube channel, so I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description below. Anything you want to say about your channel, Jeff?
No, it's just a goober with an iPhone. So there's no bother to like or subscribe. There's some videos of me fishing. There's a video of me driving a race car and snorkeling in Hawaii. So it's just a convenient way to for my friends and family to keep up on my adventures. But my daughter Kelly has a new blog called Kelly's Reads, which is really good. She has a bachelor's degree in English literature with minors in children's literature and French. And she just started a blog last week on what she's reading. She reads like hundreds of books a year. And my youngest daughter, Casey, is really big into Instagram. She has Casey's Kingdom, where she posts pictures at Disney World and things she's doing. So they're big into that world. I'm just a goober with an iPhone.
Well, still, go check them out.
Thanks.
So, all right, we're going to try to get back to doing some fishing. We're going to try to put some fish in the boat here. We've been fishing for now about a little over 3 hours. We've put a handful of fish in the boat. Hopefully, we're going to find some bigger ones, but stay tuned. Here we go.